who should we start with?
Who was the last person that just passed away from Zeus? His cousin was just in my DMs telling me to be careful. I might be next.
I went through Lemmy's phone and he set up Ivory.
Lemmy plumber, you can sit down with my dad. Real stuff, bro. You can sit down with my dad, Lemmy plumber.
Why Zeus got us watching dead people?
I'm gonna show the video. I'm tired of bitch acting like she's so fucking innocent. She don't worship the devil, but worship the devil.
Human trafficking looks a lot like what's happening to Woah Vicky. For 3 weeks, Woah Vicky has captioned all of her live streams, "Help me, I'm in Brazil, danger."
Real talk, you did hurt my feelings, and I appreciate this therapeutic live. But
I love you too.
We'll offline and we'll go from there.
Then one day I thought, wait, Nike was a Greek god. They were successful with their shoe and apparel line. Why don't we name ourselves after a Greek god? Let's be Zeus.
I am obviously the founder and CEO of Zeus, but I'm a creative. I started off, excuse me, in the building. In the business. Need some water. Give me 2 seconds.
I ain't gonna lie, gang. Zeus Network definitely got some bad energy, bad mojo surrounding that shit. It's just like the rates of the deaths and the pace that is happening is crazy.
Nothing said in this video is for sure. Everything is alleged. Hey guys, what's going on? It's your favorite journalist, Kaylin Ryan, and I'm back again with another video. For those of you who do not know me, I'm an entertainment journalist who is absolutely obsessed with Jesus Christ. I love the Lord. Yeah, check out anything on my channel that is of interest. If you're interested in my style of commentary, click that subscribe button and join the community, join the family. And yeah, let's get into today's topic. Today, we're going to talk about Zeus Network. If you haven't already caught up with some of my previous videos about the network, the franchise, Natalie Nunn, Lemmy, Scotty, and everything, and all the things, then check those out. For a while, people have speculated that Lemmy's downfall is on its way, but now more than ever, I'm seeing content about it, and I just wanted to discuss it with you guys. It has been alleged for a while now that Zeus Network has a huge hand in the exploitation or harming of the people who join their franchise. From Jocelyn's Cabaret to Baddies, the rumors circulate and people are saying a lot.
Lemmy plumber, you can sit down with my dad. Real stuff, bro. You can sit down with my dad, Lemmy plumber. Real, bro. His name is Pastor Mike Freeman, bro. You over here got $1 billion tearing down people. You got $1 billion tearing down people for your gain. And then when we speak up, you silence us with power. You're not silencing me, bro. I know Jesus Christ, bro.
Why are you falling in love with a man and you know he got a wife? I asked him right from their face. Your wife don't be tripping about none of this? She can't trip. Her whole family lives in my house. I pay all the bills. I take care of her and her family. I took her family from the island.
The way y'all keep popping about how these baddies sleeping with Lemmy, y'all should have been new. Lemmy sleep with everybody. I'm not even surprised at this point. So
Scotty, you're gonna take the public L because people, they'll get over him because they need the money. She's gonna be the people's princess and you're gonna be the villain. Right now people are loving it because we don't know what's going on. But if you want to protect yourself once it all comes out, if in fact something is happening, you want to make sure that he sets the stage for you to walk into a safe space when you guys do come out as a couple.
Natalie said to Scotty's face on live TV that she's miserable and her man had something going on with Mariah Lynn and Anna Mac. Lemmy, her man, let that episode air on her birthday while she's pregnant.
Call your boyfriend. Call Louis. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Look at, here he goes. Look at this guy. Why you touching me? What did I say? What did I say? Y'all ready?
So Scotty's old stylist is on Instagram exposing her and Lemmy and Zeus as a whole. And his page is private, so I have some screenshots. So for one, he's saying that Lemmy on Scotty and he choked her out and Capri, her dog. He also said that Scotty is too far gone. He tried to help her and Scotty turned on him instead of turning on Lemmy. He said that he's been SA'd and he's seen so much crazy shit being around Zeus and the cast and just behind the scenes. And he also said that Natalie was right about Scotty being so entitled. She feels like since she's messing around with Lemmy, she's just like bigger than the program.
In this video here, where I touched on a few things about if the Zeus girls are safe, people were flooding the comments asking me to talk about Woah Vicky. Woah Vicky went viral on social media some years ago. She went viral for certain videos for having an accent that sounded close like Ebonics and a fake black accent. She then had a walk with Christ that we witnessed publicly. She also joined Baddies at some point where her time was memorable, not so memorable depending on if you were a fan of her or not. And then all of a sudden she disappeared. When she reappeared, she was seen out the country with a group of certain gentlemen.
I just wanna, cause I've been getting a lot of comments talking about cultural appropriation, but I just wanna give y'all my take on it coming from a black girl. And well, first of all, I'm not taking nobody's culture because I'm black, honey. And second of all, a lot of y'all be comparing me to Post Malone. First of all, he's white, I'm black, so it's a big difference.
Wait, didn't you used to say that you were black? I'm like, wow, that was fire. Good old days.
I'm good.
You sure?
Yeah. Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
I noticed you keep looking back at your friend.
Oh yeah.
It's just like that. And then get like tomatoes and period. He'll eat that. Yeah, the chicken was period. What kind do you have? I have a Georgian. Yeah.
Oh, so cute. He gotta eat some chicken. He gotta eat some.
Well, Vicky, okay, now I believe she's being trafficked. Remember, like, I don't know, was it last year she came on, did this tweet on X? Remember that? And everybody was like, has she been tracked or what's going on? Then she came out and she admitted, oh, it was a hoax. It was a joke. They were trying to get money and stuff like that. And then they were going to take it a little further. However, now if you go to her YouTube channel, they're all titled with like, help me, danger, what? So people didn't know what to believe. Is she being, was it a joke? I fully believe now, because why is she titling these lives or these videos, whatever, with help me, like danger? That doesn't seem like somebody that's okay. But it's not like what you pop up first. You notice where you have to go. You have to go to live. Now, would somebody let her put that out in there if they really had her or held her captive or whatever? There's also rumors of her being bruised and stuff like that, but if she's getting tattoos removed, but then if you're getting tattoos removed, that's a common thing for people being tricked, just to take care of anything that would be noticeable. And would the people think to look in that certain section of her YouTube to notice the titles are changed? I don't know. What do you guys think?
Human Trafficking looks a lot like what's happening to Woah Vicky. For 3 weeks, Woah Vicky has captioned all of her live streams, help me, I'm in Brazil, danger. In every single live stream of hers, she is always with a man, always around men. She is never with a female companion, never with somebody that's a woman. She's moving from country to country like Nigeria, Brazil, Kenya, and it's honestly like she's being passed around to these men. She also constantly reminds people how safe she is. Don't worry, you guys, I'm safe, I'm in good hands. The men that she's with will constantly say on live stream, Woah Vicky is free, she is safe.
Is she fine? Is this all speculation? Does Zeus have anything to do with this? Who really knows? But I do pray for Woah Vicky's safe return if she's truly going through what has been said in these videos, because that's not okay. There was a period in time where Erica Mena had a show on Zeus Network, and a gentleman who was competing on the show passed away. There wasn't enough public outrage, information, or anything. People were upset that they allowed them to watch the whole entire season before they revealed at the end that he was no longer with us. Watching it in real time, thinking that he's here just for him to have passed however long ago.
Quick question. Why Zeus got us watching dead people? Like, there's no disclaimer, we don't get anything. We gotta find out months, maybe years later, after we are already invested with the characters that we were just watching that we did not know were deceased. I don't know how to feel about that. I ain't even gonna front. It's a little creepy. Like,
I ain't gonna lie, gang. Zeus Network definitely got some bad energy, bad mojo surrounding that. Not even on no conspiracy theories. It's just like the rates of the deaths and the pace that is happening is crazy. Like, what I mean by that is, like, Natalie Nunn, security guard, which is this top right photo, and this lady right here, bottom left. Both of them died in, like, accidents. I think the security guard fell from, like, a 6-story building, and the woman died, like, in a car crash or something.
And they this lady up, and they kept her for 2 hours. And I don't know why nobody talking about that. So I want y'all to go blow up Natalie's page.
2 people that were on Zeus Network are now deceased. Raina Dunlap was on her way to a Baddies audition and was found deceased inside of a abandoned building. Jay Hefner, 1 month after filming with Zeus Network, was mysteriously deceased as well. Why is Zeus Network not saying anything about Raina Dunlap or Jay Hefner? I'm not about to be the third person, so I'm going to speak out on this. Somebody's definitely been following me. Mysterious stuff has been happening. Somebody mysteriously drove their car through my living room.
Can't be the only one that has seen Andrea from Jocelyn Cabaret live about Zeus Network, right? Because she was on there going into detail about people coming up unalive. She was saying that if you don't do what they say, something's gonna happen to you. She was even saying that if anything happened to her, they got something to do with it, in other words. She also states that it was people DMing her, basically like saying, you know, to be careful working with the network and stuff like that. And then like her live had got restricted out of nowhere. And it's just so crazy because it's just like, woo wee. The quickest way to be famous is to hop on Zeus. You know, that's the quickest way to get your name out there, to get fame, to really get attention. But I know that shit come with a big price. You feel me? We don't see everything behind the scenes. It's a lot that's going on that we do not see, that we do not know about.
Touch me if you want to. Let my car blow up again if you want to. Play with my shit again if you want to. Play with my life if you want to. Just know my lawyers got my phones, both of them. And I don't delete nothing. I delete nothing. Nothing. All the receipts. 2 phones. Connected to each other. Both phones my lawyers have.
Then one day I thought, wait, Nike was a Greek god. They were successful with their shoe and apparel line. Why don't we name ourselves after a Greek god? Let's be Zeus.
People like Tommy have come out recently to share her thoughts on what Zeus allegedly partakes in.
I need everybody to understand this because I see this happen so often. If you ever know that somebody is getting and you wait until you're upset or you're not getting your way or these people do you dirty to snitch or to say something or spill all the tea, lock your ass up too, because why was you sitting around still collecting checks from a company that is girls?
Tommy, you exposed that Zeus Network is trafficking those girls, but you only did it because you got jumped? You're a weirdo. Now you want to say that they're actually doing it? So Woah Vicky is being picked, y'all. Keep calling the police. Because the amount of times that we've been told that we were lies and y'all never address Woah Vicky, y'all never speak on her. And now that you got jumped, now you can confirm that Zeus Network is trafficking. Lock their ass up.
Lou Mel Plumber, who should we start with?
Who was the last person that just passed away from Zeus? His cousin was just in my DMs telling me to be careful. I might be next.
He does great business, but he also does shady business, okay?
Like
he
what?
promises people things in exchange for certain things.
Why?
Yeah.
The
And I'm sorry, I'm a boss. You can't talk to me
you,
no
he
type
tells
of way.
you.
Sis, I went through Lemmy's phone and he set up Ivory.
The amount of people that are coming out of the woodworks, whether they are famous or unknown, saying the same thing about the franchise, where there's smoke, there's fire. So you guys be the judge. People feel as if Natalie Nunn and Scotty with the bodies, friendship or allegiance to each other started way back when they were handling some business overseas, and that's how they connected. They got money together. Do you get what I'm saying? They got money together. That's what people say.
Most people think that Scotty came on to this show and Natalie just said, "This is Scotty, she runs the South." When in actuality, Scotty was Natalie's employee.
Take my advice, hey, live a better life.
People like genuinely trying to figure out if Natalie and Scotty like did.
Because they are, and I been knew this. I never not knew this. I'll tell you what gave it away. I never even seen the pictures that this person is describing, nor do I want to. Heteros probably couldn't see it. But if you've ever been interested in your friend, who you also happen to be interested in romantically, more specifically a kind of in-closet friendship where you guys play around a lot but never in public, you'd clock it. Because the way they fight and argue, those are lover quarrels, not friendship fights.
Me and Scotty go back 4 years, right? She been one of my day one ride or die for a long time.
Before this?
Before this.
Okay.
When I first met Scotty, she worked at a bar in Raleigh, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And now, like, that same bar is giving her 5 bands to come through.
If this is all true, I wonder who introduced Natalie Nunn and Lemmy to this lifestyle. How did he go from a young man who had interest in television and have parents who run a major Kojic church and all the things to being tied up in all these scandals? How did Natalie Nunn come from being on Bad Girls Club to producing her own franchise and then bringing it to Zeus to seemingly, allegedly doing certain things that are putting her and other women and contestants in harm's way? What's the pipeline? And again, I'm not forgetting about Jocelyn's Cabaret. People said that from the inception of that show, that's what that all was about. Mind you, Jocelyn's Cabaret, if you don't know who Jocelyn Hernandez is, she is from the series Love and Hip Hop Atlanta back in the day, and she had a very traumatic childhood. She became a stripper, and at some point she ended up dating Stevie J, who acted in so many ways similarly to that of on the show. The way that he controlled her, didn't allow her to do certain things, and the way their relationship played out on camera. So Jocelyn, unfortunately, with her childhood, she wasn't protected and she was involved in a lot of things. So then she created Jocelyn's Cabaret, where the idea of the show was to platform girls that come from where she comes from, that dance and that have these certain talents, to level up and to travel the world with her as she performs her hit singles. You get what I'm saying? So when people think about Jocelyn's Cabaret, it wasn't too far off because of the industry that they were kind of already in. That didn't mean that it was valid, but it also didn't mean that we shouldn't look into it.
I had a great communication this morning with one of the owners of Zeus. I'm not leaving Zeus Network. I never said that.
Also, can we confirm that Jocelyn is the P word? Can we just confirm that? Because what I noticed about Jocelyn, anytime she notices a woman who's a threat, as far as that they got hands, she don't want to be nowhere near them. She talks that big game, but until she starts to see that they actually have hands to back it up, she will stop at nothing to make sure they're not in the same proximity as her.
I'm just now getting into Jocelyn's Cabaret, and I'm so fucking lost. Is Jocelyn supposed to be like an imp with a P in front of it? Like, I'm so confused. Like, what is going on? Like, Jocelyn be talking to these girls mad crazy, and they really be listening to her.
So, these ladies are finally suing Jocelyn. But I'm kind of confused on this because I thought they signed a waiver that they couldn't. And to be honest, wasn't she treating ladies this way in the first season of her show? So weren't y'all kind of expecting that for the second season? But Jocelyn and her dude can't just be putting our hands on people and won't have repercussions.
Lemmy has a lot going on right now with his continuous public relationship with Scotty online. She is due any day now. She already hasn't given birth. I do pray that she has a safe delivery. But yeah, to be wrapped up in this world is really intense. I just wonder how many people, if they have participated in this lifestyle that has been alleged in this video, how many people did it willingly or how many people were kind of tricked into it.
For taking my IDs so I don't get on the flight. Y'all not my daddy? So you're not gonna give me my ID?
Unless Lemmy says I can give it to you. He's the one that says whether I can give it to you or not.
I want to go.
Now, I knew Lemmy was a leprechaun, but I had no idea he was a liar, so he had to do a little bit of digging. And yeah, you guys do like to withhold people's identification. Now, we've been discussing Krishan's exit from Zeus Network, and in all of these allegations, she had claimed that Lumel, or Lemmy, however you guys want to call him, had taken her identification and wouldn't give it back to her. Now, Lemmy posted on his IG story and said, lastly, for the record, no one is withholding her identification, and we're going to stop him right there. Because what he's trying to frame it as is that she had stopped production in order for them to give her her ID back, which would have stalled the rest of their filming. It's not like you're filming anything substantive, you're literally filming women fighting. But you take a listen. Here's the exchange between Krishan and security about getting her ID back. So for him to get up on the internet and lie and say, oh, she was trying to stop production, if she was already talking with security and security already had her ID, why did they need to call you to give it back to her? It's the blatant lying from leprechauns that's really sending me.
So y'all know how they be calling Lemmy the boss man, and he just be walking around like he's the CEO. He be calling himself the founder of Zeus. Baby, he ain't the founder, and he lied, covered everything up to give himself all the credit for Zeus.
I don't know, making that post just made me believe 100 times more that Lemmy is the one who broke her face. Because I feel like they have this thing where if you still own the cast and stuff, you cannot make posts regarding Lemmy. Because just think about all the allegations that's going around about him. Nobody ever speaks on them until they're out in their Zeus contract. Now all of a sudden, Stunner Girl and her man done came out and said that Lemmy is the one who broke on her face. And it actually makes sense because it was never reported that Anna got into a car wreck or anything like that. And when has a bitch broke another bitch's face? Let's just be for real. Only a man or a super strong ass woman could break another woman's face. And the fact that she made that post and said Lemmy name and everything makes me think that Lemmy is the one who told her to make that post.
The baddies industry as a whole has always been so creepy to me. Have y'all heard that Rolly has not been fired because she knows too much? And a lot of the girls on there continue to be on the show. Like, they continue to be renewed on the show because they know too much information. So I just saw a live last night of Rolly's ex-boyfriend talking about how he knows the reason why she is continually on the show is because she knows too much information, and that's the reason why Zeus Network has not fired her. There are illegal operations going on behind closed doors that nobody can talk about. Even himself, he said he knows too much, and even him being associated with her causes, you know, there to be information that he can't speak about.
This young lady was online the other day alleging that Rolly, another popular character from the show Baddies, apparently, allegedly worships Lucifer and has done certain things to keep her fame.
I just came on here to spit some gems to y'all. I will be live on TikTok later. I'm gonna show the video. I'm tired of this acting like she's so fucking innocent. She don't worship the devil. She worship the devil. Y'all believe in the devil, and that's who y'all worship. Y'all worship a higher power. You know, when people are like, it's a higher power. They worship a higher power.
From Baddies Gone Wild just said that she's seen Rolly drinking blood, and she has a video of it. Now, a lot of people probably don't believe her, but on some real shit, Daisy always told the truth on the show. 2, Natalie and them always be like, let's talk to the baddie gods.
Have that energy for Natalie. Y'all don't ever call her evil. Y'all don't ever call her disgusting for what she be doing and selling y'all off. But Rolly really had the nerve to fix her lips and call Suki evil? Yeah, you lost me. I have to cancel.
Dream bigger and sleep better at the Living Spaces Sleep Center, where you can enjoy more space, relax with our king for a queen offer on select mattresses.
Because I'm curious what the appeal is to the show. At the beginning, people were trying to platform themselves. It was a new show with Natalie Nunn, and it was a network and promised money and all these things. But after a while, what is still appealing? These girls are fighting all the time. They are exploiting themselves in one way or another. They're having to live out traumas and experiences and heartbreaks and friendships on camera. And then allegedly on top of that, they may be being harmed and forced into certain lines of work that they didn't want to, or they are now in it. Like, what's the appeal? And I get it. All of us come from different backgrounds. So if you grew up fighting, that's what you're going to do. If you grew up showing your body and you feel like that's where you get value and attention, that's what you're going to do. I get that we all arrive here for a reason. But these rumors are so that I just wonder, why is this show still, why is it still such a fan favorite? Why do people still run and get their subscription and watch every week? I don't know. Everything in the dark does come to light, though. Everything in the dark does come to light. So whatever is actually happening and isn't alleged, whatever that might be, it's gonna come to the top at some point. Very soon, I feel. The original concept for Zeus Network was to create shows that centered around content creators and brought a new light to what streaming looked like in that way. But Lemmy, as most of us know, has been fighting a court battle with the people that he co-owns it with. He allegedly has taken the rights and the title and assumed himself as the founder, when they allege that they started this with him from the ground up, that he allegedly took money, owes them money, and has them paying on something that they're not profiting on.
Let's talk about the true origins of the Zeus Network and how the CEO Lemuel Plummer stole it from his co-founders and are forcing them to pay taxes on a business that they make no money from. Let's get into it. Now, if you ask Lemuel now, who were the founders of the Zeus Network, he will say that he is the sole creator and founder and investor of the Zeus Network. He remains very steadfast on this notion. However, if you would have asked him a few years ago about the origins of the Zeus Network, he would have told you that there were multiple co-founders. In fact, let him tell you it himself.
Met with Daystorm, King Batch, and Amanda Cerny, who were pretty big influencers.
Yes.
And we ended up, I brought them on board.
For some reason, Lemmy has now claimed to be the sole visionary behind the Zeus Network, and one of the co-founders, the Storm Power, had enough of the lies and decided to post a story time speaking his truth. Not just his truth, but the truth, because he dropped a lot of receipts. I watched our almost 10-minute story time, so you don't have to, so let's talk about it. The Storm stated that in late 2017, his friend Lamorne Morris, who was Winston from New Girl, stated that he had a colleague named Lemuel Plummer who wanted to start a black Netflix for influencers, and he wanted to start it with The Storm. The Storm and Lamorne both got offered equity in the company. They both agreed to be a part of the formation of the company, but Lamorne never got paid his part in the formation of the company despite Lemmy promising him that. Which that's just the beginning of Lemmy not paying people. The Storm posted receipts of him asking Lemmy for money that he is owed to pay, and Lemmy owes a lot of people money. Lemmy told The Storm that he wanted this black Netflix for influencers to be called The Social Network, even though there's a movie called The Social Network, so that would have been confusing. He said that he knew that he was a nobody and he needs other influencers like The Storm to be a part of this social network, so that way the social network can get more notoriety. So The Storm got King Bach on board, and then Lemmy said that they needed diversity amongst the co-founders, so they brought on Amanda Cerny. Storm split his equity amongst King Bach and Amanda, so that way they all had equal stake into the company, and then The Storm was named president and Lemmy was the CEO. In fact, The Storm is the person that came up with the Zeus name. Lemmy didn't even do it. In fact, here's Lemmy saying it.
Daystorm actually came up with the name Zeus. We were strategizing and talking about different names.
These three were the faces of the network and were doing all the promotion of the Zeus Network launching, and there was supposed to be no expectation of them having to put any money up because contractually the only person that was supposed to do that was Lemmy. But then Lemmy told The Storm that the network was broke. Then The Storm invested $135,000 of his own money into the network, and he had to take on other roles such as being an editor because they didn't have the money for an editor. He was editing multiple series at a time. The network also didn't have the money to license music, so The Storm was able to bring in one of his producers, but the producer worked on over 1,000 songs for the Zeus Network and never got paid for his work. To alleviate the financial strain, the founders offered 25 influencers their own shows on the Zeus Network for free in exchange for promotions, as well as a percentage of the subscriptions. They never got paid any of that money to this day. For the Zeus launch party, Amanda was able to solidify a collaboration with Ciroc, which allowed for Ciroc to be at the Zeus launch party, and they just had to pay $5,000 to Ciroc. Lemmy never paid Ciroc back. In these messages, you could see that Ciroc is the first thing that The Storm mentioned that Lemmy still owes. Both founders were even able to solidify Zeus signing a pact with the SAG union, but Lemmy messed that up as well, burning a lot of bridges. And I also add that the co-founders had shows on the Zeus Network as well, and they're also still on the Zeus Network. You can literally still go watch these. Like, imagine still profiting off of the people that you stole from. As the Zeus Network was getting ready to launch, there were a lot of technical difficulties with the app, and they wanted to prolong the launching, but Lemmy wanted to go ahead and launch it. So when they launched it, 45,000 people subscribed, but they subscribed for free. They weren't forced to pay the fee for it. So then they had to take all those subscriptions away and make there be a paywall and then have those people resubscribe. And you know they won't doing that. So they lost 45,000 subscribers because Lemmy didn't trust the process and he forced the issue. But King Bach was able to find a silent investor that financially helped with the development of shows like TTD Lemmy would blame it on Quay, which mind you, The Storm secured this show. You're My Boyfriend with B Simone, mind you, King Box secured this show. Lemmy didn't even do this. Lemmy controls the finances and majority of logistics regarding the Zeus network. So once socials became successful, he switched on the co-founders and blocked them out of their company accounts, and has since then said that he's the sole contributor to the Zeus network, the only founder. He did everything by himself. Even though Lemmy has blocked Amanda, Kingbach, The Storm from their company accounts, they are still seen as Zeus co-founders on paper. So therefore, they still pay K1 taxes on the business based off of the revenue that Zeus has made since after they were blocked from the company, even though they have not made a dime from the company. Like, imagine having to pay taxes on a business that was stolen from you when you have not been able to profit on. And mind you, they're taking him to court, but Lemmy's dragging out the court battle because he says a lie in one court date and then they have to wait months for another court date. In fact, The Storm said that they've paid over $1 million in legal fees alone. But The Storm also said that the reason why they fell out with Lemmy was because a friend of his, who was also an assistant of Lemmy, who's now a big Latina artist, accused Lemmy of sexual assault.
Totally transparent. We had a falling out because a good friend of ours, who is now a successful Latin artist and used to be Lemmy's assistant, told us that he sexually assaulted her.
And of course, after The Storm posted this video, including those essay allegations, Lemmy made a statement, but Lemmy never blatantly denied the essay allegations, at least. Like, he said that he's not going to speak on it because there's still litigation occurring, but you're not even going to speak on that when you're quick to speak on whatever the cast members have to say about filming. I think that's real interesting. But long story short, Lemmy was a nobody and he needed help from people that had actual clout, and he used their clout and their money to skyrocket his business, and then once he didn't need them no more, he shoe-flied them and threw them away. He did and still is doing the co-founders of Zeus extremely dirty, making them pay money on something that they never profited from because of him, because he blocked them from the profit that they so rightly deserve. And I hope that they one day get their justice.
You know, part of what makes this whole platform special is, yes, you guys are partners and owners with me in this, and what you bring to the table, like you said, is relationships. People would not do this if it wasn't because of you and King Batch and Amanda.
I am obviously the founder and CEO of Zeus, but you know, I'm a creative. I started off, excuse me, in the building. In the business. Need some water. Give me 2 seconds.
There's no way that you can have this many enemies, and there's no way you can have this many enemies and someone not be out to expose you. Even when you're living right and you're doing what you can do, people are always trying to find a way to tear you down. So if these allegations are true on how he moves as a businessman, not even including his alleged relationships with the girls on the show, then you gotta believe that there's a lot of people out here that aren't happy with him. And then there might be a lot of people that aren't happy with Natalie based off of whatever encounter they've had with her. So at some point, it's all going to come out because people are just saying anything. And if there's any truth to it, the rise and fall of Zeus Network and Lemmy and Natalie Nunn is going to be one for the books. Thank you so much for watching. I'm curious what you guys' thoughts are in the comments. What else do you know? What else have you heard? Am I completely wrong? Are all these people in this video and everything that they've said, are they just lying? Is Lemmy, is Natalie Nunn, is the whole network more pure than we actually know it to be and they're being framed? Let us know. Let us know. I've been your favorite journalist, Kaylin Ryan. I thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget that Jesus loves you, and I'll see you in a new video soon.